Welcome back to another video. Today, I'll be doing a mock draft of all the teams in the NFL. So, I think the Titans at 1 are going to take Cam Ward. They said that they are in love with Cam Ward and that they think Cam Ward can be a future good quarterback. And it might have been the former GM or the owner. I don't know. But I think it might have been the GM that they fired. But nevertheless, I think Cam Ward's going 1. And now, two, I don't think the Browns are taking a quarterback. Might be a hot take. So I think because these quarterbacks, Shador Sanders isn't like insanely great. He's not worth the number 2 overall pick. I think he'll go pretty high in the draft, maybe to the Giants at 3. Anyway, because it's a quarterback. So I think they'll take the Browns would take a dual quarter at 2. He's a great edge rusher. They have good corners if they don't want to trade up. And imagine Miles Garrett in a dual quarter on either side. They just traded Javion Clowney to the Lions, so they need another edge rusher. Oh, sorry, it was Zadarius Smith. So I think a dual quarter would be great. That pass rush, like I said, will be the best in the NFL by far. Now the Giants, I think they keep Colorado QB Shador Sanders. He's the next best quarterback. They need a quarterback. It seems like they want Shador Sanders. It just seems like it's destiny for Shador Sanders to go to the Giants. So I think they draft him at 3. And now, since I had a dual quarter going 2, because usually I have Travis Hunter going top 3, but in this he doesn't. So he's at 4, and the Patriots just need talent. And I think Travis Hunter at corner with Christian Gonzalez would be great. He can also play receiver. They need someone who could play multiple positions. I could see him maybe fall into the Jags if they want like Tech McMillan, but I think they just draft Travis Hunter, the best player in the draft. It's the second best player in the draft. I think Duke Carter is a better edge, but he's just the best pure like receiver slash corner. So I think the Jags. This is a tough one. They need a lot on defense. I think they take Will. They would have loved Travis Hunter. I didn't think Will Johnson corner out of Michigan. They really need a corner next to Tyson Campbell because Tyson Campbell is like a 1. Sorry, he's not a 1. He's like a 2. I think in the NFL he would just be more like a 2. So yeah, I like that. So now the Raiders. They have a lot of options. They could take Genty. They could take. I think they take Tack McMillan, receiver. They need one more receiver. So they have Tack McMillan at receiver 1. Jacoby Myers is the second receiver who's probably playing the slot. And Brock Bowers is the Rio second option. Or the fourth option. I like that receiving core for whatever quarterback they draft in the second round. He'll have loads of weapons. So now the Jets. I think take Mason Graham. He is a great defensive tackle, obviously. They need D tackle. And they just need defense. It's Quentin Williams, Mason Graham, Will McDonald, and Jermaine Johnson. I love that for the Jets. All right, so the Panthers, I could see them taking a receiver. I could see them taking offensive line. They're really not happy that Tack McMillan isn't here. They're unhappy about a lot of things. Probably that the two best defensive players are off the board. So I think they take Luther Burden if the draft goes like this. This is like I've done a lot of mock drafts, so this is just what I think that it's gonna happen this time. But my other mock drafts, I have Panthers usually getting one of the two defensive players, edge rusher or the tackle. So the Saints, I could see them taking Genty, but they need a tackle, and Will Campbell forced to 9, perfect. So I'm gonna have them taking him. And now the Bears. Usually I'm taking Kevin Banks Jr. and I might still have that. I just think they have to take him. And I usually have the same thing with Will Campbell. It's just I don't see these two tackles dropping out of the top 10. So I think they both go top 10, and I think the Bears and the Saints are the best spots. The Saints have a lot of injuries on the offensive line. They have weapons. The two best receivers are already off the board. Maybe if Luther Burden was here, they would take him. But he's not tackling. The Bears on offense only need a tackle. Their receivers are fine. Maybe they take Genty. I could see them taking Genty. I don't think they will, but I wouldn't be surprised if they did. And their defense is good, so they need tackle and running back. So, and now the Niners, I could see them taking Ashton Genty because CMC's getting older, but they usually, if a running back is out of the seventh round, he would play good. If he's fast, he's a good Niners running back, so I don't think so. So I'm gonna have the Niners take probably an edge rusher. They need an edge rusher next to uh next to Nick Bosa on the other side. I think they take Mikael Williams, developmental edge. The Niners will be able to develop an edge rusher, especially if Robert Saleh goes back there as DC, which that's probably what it is. So I love that for the Niners. Now the Cowboys. I could see them taking Genty, and usually that's what I have them doing, but last draft didn't. This draft they're taking Genty. Genty is a good running back. It seems like he's going to be a Dallas Cowboy. Just he's a little undersized, but running backs usually go top 12. 12, that's what Jameer Gibbs went at 12 to the Lions. So I like that a lot for the Cowboys. Now the Dolphins. I think that the Dolphins will take a tackle or a lineman if there is one. And I think Josh Simpson would be the best tackle. If Kevin Banks Jr. or Will Campbell falls, which I could see them maybe falling in some scenarios, like I said, but not in this one. So they take Josh Sims, who's a good tackle, could play guard. They just need players in the O line. Colts, I think they take Malik Stark, safety. They need a safety. They have a lot of talent on that team, and that defense has good moments, has terrible moments. Let them 45 to the Giants, so they need a lot. I think they start off with taking a safety. That offense has all the pieces they need, and you find a good DC. I think they'll playoff team next season, the Colts. Now the Falcons, they need an edge rusher. Doesn't matter. I mean, they're still good at. This is a good edge rusher class. James Pierce Jr. goes to the Falcons. He's a great edge rusher out of Tennessee. I think has a lot of potential. And next to Matthew Judon or whoever their edge rushers will be, they need that because Matthew Judon isn't good at that good anymore. So I like that for the Falcons. Maybe they take Jalen Walker to play edge, but yeah, like James Pierce Jr. Now the corners. This is where I think Jalen Walker goes. He's a hybrid. He can play linebacker, edge rusher. See, you might say that kind of reminds me of Isaiah Simmons, and they already took a chance on that, so maybe they might not do it again. Maybe not, but that's who I think. That's who I would take if I was them, because they need a lot of pieces on that defense, edge, linebacker. Why don't you take both? He's fast, playing coverage. Maybe he's Michael Parsons, but we'll see. The Bengals. They need defense, and they need edge D line. They could use a corner. So I think they take a defensive tackle because that run defense is terrible. That defense is terrible. So you just take talent, and I like Williams at one of the best defensive tackles in this draft. So I think the Bengals would take him. The Parasite, uh, BJ. Oh, no, BJ Hill. And yeah, they have good defensive tackles now. Hopefully, their edges aren't even that bad. Take one in the second. There's a good edge rush class. So yeah, build up that defense. Sign a corner. So the Seahawks, they need a line. I could see them. Oh, interior line. Tyler Booker. He's a great guard. They really need guard. Their tackles are fine. Just take the best guard available. Don't look at anything else. Just take the lineman you think will be the best. Now the Broncos. This is tough. I can see them taking tight end. They don't have many. That's what I'm gonna do here. I think they take. I disagree. I think the best tight end is Holston Loveland. I think the Broncos take him at 19. They need tight end. Their receivers actually don't look that bad. Maybe they take Isaiah Bonner and Mekem Abukum, but that's not the type of receiver they need. They get a receiver in the second. A lot of receivers, when the combine comes, there'll be more receivers hyped up real fast, and yeah, later. But right now, there's not many receivers who are great picks. So I think the best tight end. He's a pass catcher. He'll be good. Sean Payton scheme. Get a lot of tight ends. All right. Maybe they take Tyler Warren because he played quarterback and you know he loves Taysom Hill. But I think he's the best pure tight end. Now the Bucks. This is a tricky one. They could use another receiver, and I could see them taking a receiver. But I don't know because they have the only one I could see is Ikem Ibuku going this high. But they already have Chris Godwin, who are pretty similar. So then maybe they take tight end, maybe, but you kind of like Kate Otton. So I think they go probably defense because you get a receiver in the second. There's a lot of second round talent receivers. I don't know how many forced there were. So on defense, you just go Benjamin Morrison. He's the best corner available. They could use a corner. The Rams are probably be bummed out that he's not there. They also need a corner. But yeah, he's the best corner available. You could use another guy in the secondary to guard. You just lost to Jaden Daniels because Diami Brown and Terry McLaurin cooked you. So yeah, Benjamin Morrison to the Bucks. Now the Steelers. This is tough. Tyler Tyler Warren tight end. Nope, obviously not tight end. I could see a receiver here. This is where I could see a slot like Ikem Ibukum go. I had a quarterback last draft. Let's say they don't take quarterback. A lot of people didn't like that I had a quarterback going. They said the Steelers aren't going to take a quarterback in the first round. They have none on the contract. I could see it. All people said, "Oh, well, Jackson Dort's better. If you're going to take a QB, take him." But I think they take Ikem Ibukum, slot receiver, can play over the ball. George Pickens at the one. If you keep Mike Williams, him at the two, and then because they traded for him and he's only like a more than a 1 year. No, he's only a 1 year deal. So maybe you keep him, maybe you don't. Doesn't matter. You can book him in the slot. Like that lineup, your receivers are much better for whatever quarterback you have next year. And now the Rams, they need a corner. They're heartbroken, like I said, that Benjamin Morrison is off the board. There's not many great corners. There's still good edge rushers though. So maybe you say, let's take another edge. Oh, that's really the need though. I like DT. There's a few good defensive tackles. They're falling. Maybe take uh I need an X out edge. DT. Kenneth Graham out of Michigan. He's another good defensive tackle. Him and Mason Graham are great players. I think he's around this range. There's a lot of good defensive tackles in this draft. The Rams have Kobe Turner, him, and their edge rushers are good. So yeah, like that pick a lot for the Rams. Now the Chargers. I think they might take Tyler Warren. That's what I think. Or they could take receiver because receiver was really bad, but their tight end wasn't great either. But the best pass catcher is Tyler Warren. So I think out of Penn State, Tyler Warren goes. He played quarterback a little bit. He played great in that playoff game. They have great players, Penn State. He's gonna be another one. With John Harbaugh, he I think wanted the guy I gave to the Broncos, Loveland, played with him, probably coached him up. But Tyler Warren's a good tight end. Now the Packers, I don't know. They could use a no. They don't need receiver. They just had a lot of injuries there. Maybe a tight end, but obviously not. Or the two first round tight ends are gone. Then you're like linemen, which I could see linemen. But who's the best lineman on the board? Tackle. I guess Cameron Williams. There's like three guys. God. No one catches your eye. Yeah, I think they take Cameron Williams. They were great at developing offensive linemen. They will love to have themselves a project in him. Put him at guard. Put him at tackle. Wherever you need him to go, he can. And yeah, the Packers get that. They get a running back in the fourth, and who's fast. Pair with Josh Jacobs. Your offense is a lot better. Your defense played great against the Eagles, just great. Some of that was on Jalen Hurts, though, obviously. Some of it wasn't. Some of it was just because you had a great defense. I think they still need one more defensive tackle. Maybe they take that, but I think what's it called? Line is very important because the Eagles got a lot of pressure. The Texans they need linemen. They, I mean, I don't think they would take him. He's more a developmental guy. I think they take. I can't say his name, but this guy out of Minnesota, great tackle, and he moved to guard. Play a lot of places, so I like that pick a lot. Washington, I think they take edge. They need off. They need weapons, but Isaiah Bond's good. But I think that defense could use a lot of work. So I think you take edge. Yeah, you take Nick Sorton. These edges go higher. There's defensive tackles. This is just I have a lot of drafts. This is what I think could happen. So yeah. So we got the Ravens. So yeah, Nick Sorton's good edge rusher out of what's it called? ATM. AM. I can't talk today. So yeah. And then the Ravens running back. I could see them taking a running back because Derrick Henry's on a 1 year deal. After this, like he has 1 year left on his deal, and he's probably not going to resign. But they need a receiver. I kind of like Isaiah Bond for them. Where is he? Down there at 79. I kind of like him. Oh, the running back. That's why. Didn't even notice. Defense. No, actually, they need defense. I think they take corner. Uh, Trey Amos, great out of Ole Miss. I think he's gonna be a top pick. So yeah, I like that pick a lot for the Ravens if they made it. Now the Vikings, they're good on receiver. They're good at tight end. They're good on the line. I could see them drafting a defender because their defense. They have a lot of players, but I can see they need a defensive tackle. See Walter Nolan, falls to 28, great value. They need a defensive tackle. I love that. I don't do trades in these, but I could see a team trading back up in the first round if they like Jalen Miller or something and they want the 50 option on the quarterback. But I'm not going to do trades. I'm just saying that could happen. The Bills. I could see them drafting a receiver, but they already have a lot of bodies at receiver. Obviously not tight end. Defense. I could see and not edge. Linebacker maybe. Five. But there's no linebackers in the first. No safeties. So corner. I think they take. So yeah, I think they could take Isaiah Bond. They missed out on Xavier Worthy last year. So they say let's get a speedy guy for Josh Allen to throw to, go down the field, win a win a deep threat, can beat this man in man coverage. So yeah, he's not. This is a little high, but I think he'll go high because he's fast and teams like fast players. So I like that pick for the Bills. Now the Eagles. The Eagles. I could see them taking a lineman. They don't have a lot of holes. They could use not a because on offense they're fine. On defense, maybe you take another corner because Darius Slay. You have Cooper DeJean in the nickel. Maybe a safety. There's not a lot of like a defensive tackle, but they don't need that. So I think they take a lineman if there is any. Or actually, I can see an edge rush. They need edge. This is a good edge draft. They can take Sherman Stewart. Sherman Stewart. He's a good edge rusher. is definitely worth the pick. This is where these late developmental guys go in the late first round. The Eagles got Nolan Smith around this end. So yeah, I like this pick a lot for the Eagles. Now the Chiefs. I could see running back because Isaiah Richard gets hurt. I could see like him or Cam Scatterboo, but they have Isaiah Pacheco. They might just take one in the fourth, third round because you get there's a lot of good running backs in this draft. Like all these players could be good NFL backs. So this is where I think they might trade out because there's not much. If one of the two tight ends were here, they might just have to take it because Travis is also getting up there in age. I think they take a defensive tackle. They have been valuing defense a lot. I think they take Derek Coleman. He's a second round guy. Oli Force. I think he's gonna be a great player. Big body. Him next to Chris Jones. Great. You have Jermaine Johnson. I could see Edge if they're here. Jack Sawyer. Big body Edge. I don't know. I think they'd rather have a defensive tackle than him. So yeah, the Lions. If Isaiah Bond was here, this would be perfect. Him with what's his face? Him and uh the fast guy, whatever his name is, the deep threat. That'd be a great duo. Both fast, both deep ball winners. And then Amon St. Brown, who is a very good receiver, but he can play in the slot. He's more of a slot guy anyway. Play him in the slot, even though he's your best player. So I would like that, but he's not here obviously. Trey Harris maybe. I could see Xavier Vesper. I don't think a lot of receivers go in the first round. At least right now. The combine, like I said, it will be different. But they also need defense. I mean, other defensive woes is because they have so many injuries. Aiden Hudson's mainly one, so I think they take edge or Jack Sawyer. They need an edge. He has a bigger body. I like that pick for the Lions, and I think this could happen in real life. Thank you for watching. This is how I think the what one of the ways I think the draft could go. I think the Browns may draft a quarterback, but I like this draft. And yeah, thank you for watching. Mock Draft Monday. Hope you enjoyed. See you guys next video. Goodbye.